Hi guys, and welcome back. In today's video I'm showing how to check a relay, a fuel pump relay on a 2000 Honda Accord. I'm not showing how to get it out. I'll show you where it's at. Underneath the dashboard there was just no way to photograph this. From what I read in the manual, it looks like the no start problem I'm having is from this relay. I'm not going through the diagnostics on this. This is just to show you where the relay is located and how to test it once you get it out. Now in this 2000 Accord, the relay is behind this dash. It's up underneath. There's a bracket back there that the relay is attached to, and the bracket is mounted about here. So if you're looking at the steering column, it's mounted right about over here. The only work that was ever done on this car was by a Honda dealership. I had a no start problem once before. It turned out to be a distributor cap. So it was either when I brought it in or the previous owner, who used to bring it to Honda religiously, instead of taking this bracket out, which is a pain to get to, they snapped that relay out. Doesn't affect the performance of the relay, but bringing it to a dealership, you would expect better work than that. Now I have the relay out. I'll show you what it looks like and we'll get into testing the relay. Okay guys, we're back. I'm inside the house now. It's a little cool outside to be working out there. This is the relay. Here's where it was snapped off. Now to check this relay, you need a power source and you need a way to connect it. So I just have these wires with a couple alligator clips to connect to the pins. You also need directions on which pins to connect and how to check the continuity. Now you're going to need a continuity light, or you could just use a multimeter to check whether this relay is working correctly or not. I pulled these directions offline. This is for a 2000 Accord, but it's wrong. They have number 2. Which over here is number 6. Diagram has this as number 2. The relay has it as number 6, and the last pin is number 8, and the diagram has it as number 1. I don't know why the discrepancy. This is from a Chilton manual that I pulled offline. I'm going to go back online to see if I could get the correct testing instructions. As soon as I do, I'll be back. Okay guys, there seems to be quite a bit of confusion with this relay. I went to another website and we have instructions over here, and it's for an Accord, an 88 to a 94. Can't find the Honda Accord 2000, but they have 2 sets of instructions. One, it says to attach the battery positive terminal to the number 4 terminal for the Accord. Now the Accord, if you look at this, doesn't have a number 4 terminal. The number 4 terminal would be right here. Doesn't have it. But right next to the instructions it says, or number 6 for the Acura. And the negative to number 8 terminal of the main relay. Then check for continuity between 5 and number 7. Now I followed these instructions. They're step 1, 2, and 3. After you check for the continuity, if there's continuity, it tells you to go to step 2. If there's no continuity, it tells you to solder the relay terminal and retest it. On step 2, it says to attach the positive terminal to number 5 and the negative to number 3, and then you should have continuity between number 7 and number 6. If there's continuity, go to 7. If not, solder the terminal. If there's no continuity, go to step 3. On step 3, it says to connect the positive terminal to number 3 and the negative to number 8, and you should have continuity between 5 and 7. That was the same 2 terminals that we checked on step 1. If there's continuity, the relay is okay. If the fuel pump still does not work, check the harness and or fuel pump. If there's no continuity, resolder the relay terminal and reset. So now I'm going to show you one of the 3 tests. I did all 3, in all three I have continuity, and you can hear the click on the terminal. What I'm going to do is to take this relay out of the housing to check those solder joints. During my research, there was a couple of articles on these relays stating on how these relays will work, then fail, then work again. Something about the relay not being soldered properly, or the solder having a crack in it. When it heats up, it expands. When it cools off, it'll reconnect again. Maybe not all the way, there'll still be a crack. So I'm going to show how to do one of those three tests, because they're all the same, just different terminals. They're all done the same way. And then we'll check this relay to see if there's any cracks in the solder. If that relay looks good on the inside, it has to be the fuel pump or the wiring to the fuel pump that's causing the problem. But from what I read, all indications are that it's this relay. I'm hoping to find a problem when I open this up. Well, if not, we're off to the fuel pump. I'm back, and like I said, I'm going to do just one of these tests. So the hot lead, first of all, you need a power source. You could use a battery. I have a battery jumper I'm using here. And it says to connect the hot lead to number 6. And on these relays, these are all numbered. Number 6. And the negative to number 8. Okay? So we have 6 and 8 connected. When I turn the power on, you can hear the click. Do it again. That's showing that the relay is working. But I'm going to check for the continuity. And the continuity should be between 5 and 7. I don't have this on a tripod, so I can't show it now, but when I touch terminal 5 and 7, I have continuity. So you can either use a multimeter, continuity light, or just listen for the click. Now the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, the fact that all of these are clicking and showing continuity shows that it's working now. So I'm going to open this up to see if any of these relays have a bad solder joint on them. And again, if they don't, we're going to the fuel pump. I'll be back in a few minutes. Well guys, I have this relay apart, and I was checking these terminals, and from the screenshots that we have online, it's hard to determine if any of these are at fault. This one over here, the camera doesn't pick it up well, and it's hard to see even with a magnifying glass. There's like a little dimple, and it looks like it could use more solder. I haven't found any cracks that I could see, although over here might be the way it was soldered, or it could be the beginning of cracks. Like I mentioned earlier, while I was doing my research, these terminals can separate when either hot or cold. That's what causes the confusion. And they could reconnect after they cool down. Still not fully connected, but enough to where it would start again. So that's why you would get that start and no start. So the best I could do for myself right now is that I'm going to apply a little solder to this terminal here. And there was another one, I believe it was this one over here. Looked like there wasn't enough. Now on some of these, I'm not sure how the camera's going to pick this up. On some of these, it's a complete bead of solder, if you would, over here. And over here there's like a gap. There's a mark over here from a magic marker. And as you saw earlier, this was taken down once before because it was snapped off. I don't know if somebody resoldered these once before or not. The people who had it before me, I could check with them to see if they had a problem. Maybe they were charged for a new relay and it was just soldered, or maybe it was just repaired. I'm going to take care of these couple of terminals. I'm going to put it back in the car. And the only way for me to check going forward is if I get a no start situation again, I'm going to check the fuel pump. Because at that point, I'll be able to see whether the fuel pump is getting electricity to it or not. I just lost camera. I believe I left off saying that I was going to solder these couple of terminals going to put it back into the car, and the next time I get a no start, hopefully that won't happen and this will resolve it, I'm going to be checking that fuel pump. That's the best I could do with this at this point, unless I just buy another one of these and put it in. And again, I might get a no start if I'm having a fuel pump problem. Well guys, this is a wrap. If you found this video useful, let me know by posting your comments down below, giving it a thumbs up, passing it along, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Until next time, stay safe.